What's going on, people? It's Mr. Controversy here from the 3 Point Conversion Presents Making the Cut. I'm here on Sports Battleground, and this is my NFL diary. Of course, we're talking about week 2. A lot of things that went on, a lot of interesting storylines, a lot of injuries, drama, games. It was a it was a good week, but it was a disappointing week, mainly for injuries. So first off, I'm going to leave off I'm going to start where I left off from last week, and we talked about the counterfeit teams. A lot of people got on me, Mr. Controversy don't know what he's talking about. He hating and all of that. So just in case you didn't see last video of my NFL diary of the first week, I talked about the Detroit Lions. I talked about two counterfeit teams. The first team was the Detroit Lions, how they look good against the New York Giants, but I said they were counterfeit. Don't get psyched out by that win, basically because I think the Lions are still the Lions. Like in that game, they made a lot of mistakes as well. It just was covered up because the Giants played so horribly. So they played so horrible, and they were bad. They stunk. So we go to week 2 against Carolina Panthers, and Detroit, they came out firing. They drove down the field, got into the red zone or close to the red zone, and what happened? They fumbled the ball. Okay, whatever. I think it was the second or third series they had the ball again, drove down the field again, got down to the red zone, got down to like the 20, 30-yard line. I think a couple of penalties. Then missed the field goal. Same old lines. Same old lines. Carolina really didn't have any offense. I mean, Carolina's defense is nice, but what was Stafford doing? Forcing the ball. They were fumbling. They fumbled a kickoff return. Missing field goals. Again, counterfeit. They're the same old lines. Stafford is the same old Matthew Stafford. He's going to make horrible plays, going to make bad decisions. And, of course, we all know until he changes, they're still going to be the same old lines. Same old lines. They have good players. They have a good coach. I like their coach. I like the pickup of Golden Tate, but again, counterfeit. The second team I talked about was the San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, they look good against Dallas. Scored all them points in the first half, got those turnovers. But again, Tony Romo played like he was a freshman in college, wrapping up gifts, giving it to the San Francisco 49ers like it was charity. And second half of that game, what they do? Nothing. How many points they score? 0. So we go to this game, opening up the new field. Man, it's going to be a blowout. They should have came out, killing them, which they did. The Chicago Bears they were wounded. They were hurting. They lost a couple of players. They lost their best cornerback, lost a D tackle, and they lost their starting safety with Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffries limping around the field. They get up 17 going into the second half, come out and score. Everything looks good, right? Counterfeit. Sure enough, Jay Cutler only threw for 176 yards. Brandon Marshall only had 5 catches for 46 yards, but he had 3 touchdowns. So what does San Francisco do after they score that first touchdown to open the drive? Nothing. Counterfeit. They're not ready. I told you, they're counterfeit. Not saying they won't get ready later on. They won't make the playoffs. If they do, I still think they just might miss it, but counterfeit. Okay, so now let's talk about the great wins by these big-time comebacks. You had comebacks by the Green Bay Packers, Philadelphia Eagles. Of course, I mentioned Chicago Bears and the Cleveland Browns. I'm so proud of Brian Hoyer. Everybody wanted Johnny Manziel. Even if you didn't know who Brian Hoyer was, you didn't care anyway. I mean, even if you knew who he was, you didn't care because everybody wanted to see Johnny Manziel, whether he failed or whether to see him if he was going to succeed. But I'm so proud of Brian Hoyer. Played a great game. Then the fact that he drove them down the field and they get the game-winning field goal. Big ups, Brian Hoyer. Now, you know how everybody invests in their quarterback. You got your Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady's, Peyton, all of them. But Can we name their backup quarterback? No. So why am I mentioning this? Because let's look at this. Look what Arizona did. They might not have done a whole lot to win that game. You know, the punt return from Ted Ginn Jr. that won the game, but still, the fact that their quarterback came in and had poise, and matter of fact, led them to the first touchdown. I think, yeah, the first touchdown they had, they won the game. St. Louis Rams, Austin Davis, he coming. I think that's his name. Came in, won the game in on the road, just like the I think of Stanton from Arizona on the road. Then let's go to Kirk Cousins. I mean, is it over for RG3? It might be, but yet still, what did Kirk do? Kirk came in, did what he's supposed to do, like a backup, true backup, won the game. I mean, that's what we're talking about, folks. That's how you're supposed to do it. And I miss the days when you had backups like Steve Young when he was behind Montana, Rodney Peete, who else? I mean, you had nice backups. Even the coach from Dallas, he came in. I can't think of his name. Garrett, when he came in from Aikman. You know, of course, the guy from Buffalo, Frank Wright, backup quarterbacks. What are you supposed to do? So I think teams that invest in backup quarterbacks, good backup quarterbacks, I think you'll see them in the playoffs soon because injuries going to happen. I mean, that's just the nature of the game. And let's say if Drew Brees go down, I mean, they're already down right now. Shout out to Ron Robinson, Big Google. What's going to happen? They're not going to make the playoffs, folks. So I think teams should invest in backup quarterbacks as much as they invest in backup running backs. And now I'm going to end it like this. With the NFL moving forward, you have all of these domestic charges. Then you had an incident with Adrian Peterson. I'm not going to judge those folks. I can't, I'm not in a position. I don't like it, but I'm not going to judge them. But this is what I say. NFL, you're the best sport in sports. So step up, do what you normally do. You can get over this. I mean, we've been with deaths. Remember the guy from Kansas City? I can't think of his name, but that situation, 9/11. Respond like you normally respond. Come back, take our mind off these horrible situations, and do what you do best. Entertain. Keep our minds off of things that offer what work. Anything that's keeping us down, anything that's got us to the point where, I mean, you got people who are ready to commit suicide just for normal stuff. But NFL, just just do what you normally do, man. Just do what y'all do. Make sure that y'all play the game safely. Respect the game. Respect us. And I guarantee you, we will forget everything that happened this year. I'm out.